Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another epic episode of Vibe No Queen Season 3, The Matriarchs. And leo, tuko na ule mdemu. June Gachui, accompanied by the amazing, the only, her guitarist. Wow. Her guitarist, Alexander Ivy.
Yes.
Karibuni sana to Vibe No Queen Season 3, The Matriarchs. This is the conversations that we have surrounding women in music at the aim of trying to bring all these women in music together to work better, to find solutions to problems that are happening in the music ecosystem, and to just vibe with the queens. Karibu June Gash.
Thank you.
French.
Thank you. Bienvenue.
Bienvenue à
Voilà.
Vibe No Queen. Ivy Alexander, I understand that you speak French as well.
Oui, je parle un peu de français.
Okay, I have the keys today, and you're very welcome to this podium.
Merci.
Merci.
I am honored to be here.
I am honored.
I'm honored.
You're honored to be here. Karibuni sana, man. What? Like, I can't believe this is happening.
We are here. We are here.
Who talker? Kasiva, so you can play percussion. So now we are actually having a
Can you imagine?
June.
Can you imagine?
Life.
It's a good thing.
Life.
It's a good thing. It's
June.
meant to be lived. It's meant to be enjoyed.
Karibu sana.
Yeah, asante.
People don't know that you wear many hats. Kuna hats nitatoa hapa leo.
Ndio maana leo nimefanya mabantu. So let's count the things.
Hey, guy. June is many things in one. Kama niseme one in many things.
One in many things.
Because you fit so many hats, man. You're a lawyer. You're a performing artist.
Yes.
You're a recording artist.
Yes.
You are a curator of the arts.
Yes.
You're a comedian. You are the name behind The Hang. You're the name behind Motown Nairobi. You're so many things, June.
Thank you.
Ulianza aje? Hivi vitu ukiwa mtoi kwani you knew that
No.
I shall and I shall also make people laugh.
I think first of all, thank you for having me, Mama. When you said Matriarchs, I was like, okay. But I'm really honored. I'm really honored to be here.
Karibu sana, June.
So, no, I think like most of the people we hear about, I had a conversation with myself when I was younger. I used to interview myself and sit on this side, and now you're the journalist and you move this side and go. And then you give an answer, and the answers would shock me because I really wouldn't know what my mouth was going to say. But I think I was always sure that I wanted to be superstar-y in my life.
Oh, wow.
I was those kids who would wear their T-shirt as their hair. Do you know how you're removing your T-shirt? Then it kwamas here. Then you do.
I'm with my hair back and forth.
Yeah, and then I would perform for my parents' visitors, whether they asked me to or not. I was like, niko hapa, niko na show, and it was choreo, it was all of this. So I think I started this kind of behavior from the age of maybe 7, 8. I would do these little performances in the house. So I knew that the arts were very close to my heart. They would give me joy. I took dance lessons. I took singing lessons. I was in the school choir, all the musicals and all the, I was in everything. Did the music fest, drama fest. I was literally, if I could get in there, I would do it. The condition my folks gave me was, do well in school, then you can go for TZ.
Amazing.
And so I guess fast forward from there, the difference I think with my journey is I never stopped. I feel like most of us, especially in our Kenyan system, you finish your, is it Form 2 or whatever it is, then you're told, Ebu, concentrate on school now. You stop these miches or stop them. And yet you were really good in music or in art or some art form or some creativity that you were taught. But somewhere there was a decision that was made that this was more important than this.
Absolutely.
I never stopped. I all through my primary, secondary, university, post, when I was now doing my master's, I was always there was a small gig here, and I would do the two things at the same time. So when I started working, I was like, why are we changing the formula?
Yeah.
So I go to my office, and then I go to Phoenix. I am on stage doing a play. Then I leave the office, I go to K1 and I do a quick gig with Kinamwai or whatever. It just continued being the perfect balance for me. So when people say, but how do you manage? I'm like, I never did not do this. This has been my existence since school, because in school, You go, you do, you're in class for 2 periods, then you go for PE, you do something. It's the same principle.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the thing, we need to give ourselves permission to be able to treat ourselves with that creative art form.
Yeah.
And I feel that there's so many. Look at what we saw during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was, I'm now baking, I've started like a loose YouTube channel to show people what recipes I came. So where did that come from?
Yeah.
It means you have some creative thing, but you're like the MD of God knows which company.
Yeah.
So we all have that thing. I think human beings are never one-faceted, they're multifaceted. So I think that's what it is. So I don't think I knew what the specific things were, but if things bring me joy, I run towards them. Kabsa. Kabsa.
What I hear you say is that you actually had a lot of support in the arts when you were growing up, because you went for lessons.
Yes.
And your folks were like, so long as you're studying well, you can also do the other
Those were the negotiations,
really cool, because, I was having a conversation the other day with Idia Ching, and she said, not so many people have the opportunities of actually having the quote-unquote luxury of being able to actually pursue the arts on this side and this thing on the other side. And that's why probably people figure a point and actually stop. Why do you actually think people do stop chasing these things? I mean, other than lack of funds.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's factors towards this why people wanamua, okay, nafukamali unamua, arts kwanza wacha zikae. And you feel it's actually biased to a particular gender, ama nisi wote tu, like it actually affects all of us as well?
I think it affects all of us, but I do think it affects females more. And it's just because of the natural way of life, biology. If you want to start your family, there's a perception that, first of all, just be serious about where you're going to be. You focus, you are going to be a wife, you're going to be a mother.
Yeah.
We don't want you to be coming home at 1 a.m. from a gig. What is that? What are you? And who are those people you are with? Ni wapi? Ni kwa club. Ulikuwa saa hii ni saa ngapi? And it's not just maybe your partner, your husband or whatever, but even your aunties, your moms will be like, this is not how we did things. You're found in the house, dinner is ready, kids are doing their homework. Like there's like a way of life that we've been conditioned to know is the right way or the only way. And so it starts, I think, with society. It starts with the norms that we were brought up or raised in. And the priority we place on certain things. And so I think the funds are one aspect, but I definitely think there are other things that you then start to question, am I doing the right thing? Yeah. Let me focus on my kids, my family, my career, whatever it is. Yeah. And then you come back and say, I deserve the break now in my 50s, which we've seen. I mean, how many of these talent shows do we watch? And what's the story? I raised my kids, I did all this, and now at 55, I'm here for America's Got Talent. And you're like, what? Why are we waiting till 55? Yeah. So I feel like we really need to, and part of that responsibility is on us. Because what do people who care about you want to know? That you can earn a living, you can take care of yourself and your family. So where did the narrative that you can't do that with the creative arts come from? There was negative perceptions. Once you go there, you failed school. In fact, drugs are the next thing now that will shika you like this. And it's just problematic in the way that we've been conditioned to experience the creative arts. And I really think what I'm enjoying seeing in my many, many decades of being in this space is just how that's changed and how the perception has changed and how women who would be performing in bars would be considered loose. You're just loose. Because, surely, why are you there with all these men? Also, who is at the bar? It's not women, unless they are working. See, even me, I'm working in the bar. Even the waitresses are working. Even the others who came to look for business are also working. So that perception is what I think we need to take the lead to change. Absolutely. And society will follow. And I think it already has started to do that. So
it was worse in like when you guys were starting.
My goodness, right? We were a handful.
Okay.
Yeah. And we were all like in church, then somebody sees you and says, then you go and sing at one wedding, come here, one cocktail. That's how you're called like this. Yeah. But the one with money, I just thought,
I love it.
What are you doing on Saturday? Yeah. How much are you paying me? Literally, that is how it, and it's referral. So if you're good at your craft, I think the common denominator for me is that you must look at it like it's work.
Yeah.
That is a non-negotiable for me. And I think that's been something. Most people are like, okay, God has blessed me with talent. It's not enough. The talent is not enough. If you don't put in the work, nobody else starts to see it like a profession like any other, like how lawyers work, architects work, doctors work, engineers work.
Absolutely.
Creatives, musicians work.
Yeah.
Do the work.
Watu, put in the work. Watu wakuniuliza ati,
Fanya
Kasiva,
kazi.
do I still have to finish school? I mean, niko na talent. I don't want to finish.
Hey, boss.
Malizeni shule bwana.
Talent is not enough.
Speaking of perception, you sit in a very unique space of being a performer, but bado uko ndani ya corporate kabisa.
Yes.
For me, this balance actually, it stirs me in some way, you know, because I'm always wondering, how do people take you seriously looking up? Like, okay, now I am here to represent you as your lawyer. Do people take you seriously because of this perception of, lakini si nilikuwa na msichana jana kwa you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she's here, she's come to represent me at what? As in, what is this? What is this game? Well, how do people take this?
Look, I would be lying if I said that there are a few who have felt some kind of way, you know, and especially when they didn't know this other side of my life. It's interesting. People experience me very differently. Yeah. There are people I meet who don't know anything else about me other than the fact that I sing. So if they see me in any other scenario, they're like, what are you doing here? Then others meet me in my legal space and have no clue about anything else that I do, which is, I don't understand, but they kind of like experience me only in the legal space. Then those who've seen me on stage, etc. I'll share a story just to, to sort of
I love stories, dude.
Illustrate just how crazy it was. So I get a call some time back from a friend of mine who says, look, my family and I are trying to work on a biography of our uncle. And so it's cousins, it's the siblings, it's the aunties, uncles. So helping to tell this guy's story because he's done some amazing things. I said, great. So we want to have a conversation about what we should think about, contracts, the rights, you know, who's writing, that kind of thing, how we do our research. I said, excellent. So would you guys like to come in for a consultation? They said, yeah, great. So she tells her people, I send her the details. This is how much it'll cost. This is the time. This is where we're located. And see, the rest happens with the office. Me, I'm doing my life. Then the day of the meeting arrives. So my team welcome them in, have their team. I'm in my office. I'm called. I'm told, okay, the clients are here. So I walk in. One of the girls in the room just starts laughing. Auntie, what are you doing here? I'm like, what do you mean? What am I doing? And now I'm in lawyer mode. Eh?
Yeah.
I am uko, files, heels, you know? And she is crying with laughter. So I'm like, what is going on here?
Any another umekam ku act.
Udemina. Anafanya nini hapa kwa ama she joined our family and we don't know. So she's like, wait, what's happening? Why are you here? What's happening? Like that. And I'm like, do you need a moment? So she says, I swear, I was at BYSS on Saturday. No. And you are, what are you doing here?
Shucks.
I said, you're in my office. This is my law firm. Stop. You are a lawyer. Oh my God. Then we took 10 minutes just having that conversation. So of course the rest of the uncles were just like, are you guys done? So she's like, okay. I said, take as much time as you need because it was the biggest reaction I had ever received.
Yeah.
I think the others are more subtle. They don't tell you, I don't take you seriously, or I don't think I take you seriously, or there's I'm not so sure if she can handle. I won't lie, I think people do think that.
Yeah.
But the thing I also tell them is the only reason I am as good as I am at my job is because I understand what being a creative means. Because I am in the business. So I can wear the hat of, if this were me and I needed somebody to cover me, protect my rights, protect my art, what would that look like? And then I switch my legal hat on and so I tell them it's actually an X factor that I think I possess. And it helps me do my job better. It helps me be more passionate about the work that I deliver. But yeah, people will always have opinions. I even have people who tell me, but it's only like one clause in the contract that why is it costing this much? I said, because it is the one clause that can mess your entire project. But please, if you don't think it's important, continue with the law firm of Google. It's okay. Yeah. But getting to that point has also taken some time. You know, maybe if you'd asked me this 15 years ago, you know, maybe my answer would have been different. But I actually think it's unique and I'm not like anybody else. And I think that's the thing that I will sell. That's the thing that I will market.
Yeah. No one is like the other. I mean, it is such a good day.
Yeah. And to be honest,
it's such a good day. Cues.
It's
such a good day.
And as the good day things are coming,
Isn't it such a good
I actually want to say that in some of these corporate spaces, you do need a bit of lightness.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So you see that guys are very angry, this resolution is not going the way they want. A loose joke, a loose, hey, let's take a moment.
Yeah.
Then guys sort of relax. So being able to have that, it just makes everything better.
Yeah, when you put on a happy face,
Yes.
It just goes the right way, right?
Wow. Are you aware that those are, very deep lyrics that have really painted a canvas of my life?
Oh, you guys, I love this song.
Stepping out into the bright sunshine, not a gray cloud in the sky. It's a new day, it's a good day. Just put on your happy face, yesterday's gone away. It's a new day, it's a good day. Sitting here thinking about the things happened to me yesterday. Oh my gosh, I'm done wasting time. I've made up my mind to leave crazy behind and move on. So I'm stepping out into the bright sunshine, gray cloud in the sky. It's a new day, it's a good day. Just put on your happy face, yesterday's gone away. It's a new day, it's a good day. There's no more drama, no more pain. It wasn't helping anyway. I'm gonna take this day, I'll do my thing. Ooh yeah, I'll stay positive. That's how I'm choosing to live all day, today. Stepping out into the bright sunshine, not a gray cloud in the sky. It's a new day, it's a good day, new day. Just put on your happy face, yesterday's gone away. It's a new day. Kasiva knows this part. Yeah, it's a good day. Sing, ba-ba, ba-da-da, ba-ba. It's a new day. It's a good day. One more time. Hey, it's a good day. Ba-ba, ba-da-da, ba-ba.
Well,
Pow.
like Fadili says, you guys were. I remember this song so well because I remember the first place we played them.
Yes.
When you assembled all these women, ukaamua sasa tunatengeneza band.
Leo.
Like,
Yamadem.
are you insane? It was the first time I actually saw a formation of all these women together.
Yeah.
You know the way we were seasoned when we were growing up. Hawa wanawake hawezi fanya kazi pamoja pamoja.
Si ndio.
Watauana.
Si ndio.
It's like, okay, she's put.
It's too much emotion. It's too much emotion. Yeah.
But you actually proved us wrong. I simplified soldier. I remember it was the first time we actually played with you, Ivy.
Yeah. That's the first gig I actually ever played.
I was absolutely insane guitar. I was like, you play guitar, right?
That's the first time I met someone as upfront as you.
Yeah. And this is her toned down, you know?
I know.
I don't know if Kasiva, did you experience yourself?
Yeah.
Me first, I saw this chick on stage. I'm like, what is happening here? First of the hair, there's a Kasi. I'm like, is it a mohawk? It's a mohawk. And she was doing and she had two little dots. And I was like, this chick is just a vibe, man.
But let me tell you, you invested and planted so much fire in us by that one gig, a simplified soul jam, and Flower Project was born. And I thought to actually ask you, what was going on in your mind when you decided to bring all these ladies together, knowing hizo mashabangza, they'll pull each other's hair.
And it's okay. It's okay to pull each other's hair.
Okay.
I
like that you actually honor that it's actually okay.
It is okay. It is okay.
It's life.
Well, I mean, surely. Why stop being who you are? What it is being aware of it is important. So I come from a family of 3 girls. Actually 4, because my mom has now become just like one of the gals. Yeah. So, my dad had 4 girls. And I think even just observing how we interacted with each other, we weren't friends all the time. We weren't like in love with each other all the time, but that's family. And I think that's what I missed at that point, it was probably like 20 years of gigging at that point. And it was usually me and guys, me and guys, me and guys. So most of my friends are male because I've grown up with that setting in my creative journey. And I just thought, there's a thing, obviously, there's men and there's girls, you know what I'm saying? And their friends, they are a lot more upfront, which I really appreciate. They don't have time for the emotion, so they just tell me, Nini, why are you furring for me here? And then you go, oh, yeah, fura, okay, why am I upset? And then they kind of make you have the conversation. Whereas with females, I think with all our cycles and systems and moons and Lord knows what, it takes us a longer time to express ourselves using words. We express ourselves differently. It's not wrong, it's just different. So I miss that.
You want a grudge for like the next 2 months. Yeah.
And you're like,
you don't use words.
And then when you're asked 2 months later, can you even remember? Nini alifanya, alidu nini? And I was like, no, we have to do better. So I really missed that sisterhood, and I missed that. I mean, my sister had been like problematic because I used to tell her, sing with me here. And she goes, I don't want to sing. I don't want to sing. And she was like, Angie, my goodness. And she's like, no, I just want to play piano. So she went to learn how to play piano, and I couldn't play any instrument to save my life. I'd learned the right hand, the left hand, then together the brain just does short circuit. So I tell her, okay, you sit here and play while I sing. And then I realized that she could hear harmony before I could. So she was very great at harmonizing and had a warmer sort of alto tone when I was a full soprano. So I was like, imagine you have to sing with me. So we started church. And I just missed that. I'm like, if it's not Sunday, when else am I going to have this chance to just have this sisterhood, lovely female energy around me? So I was like, I'd watched almost all of you individually by that time.
Now tell us when you're
I'll tell you how I scouted. No. It literally. So every so often I'm like, it's a Saturday night, I'm just at home. I don't feel like going out, but then there's a gig that Conservatoire is doing. I said, okay, let me go. So Manasseh Uzela is always like, come. There's some young kids, just come. I literally go, I buy my ticket, I sit at the back, and I just watched. So the first time I watched Ivy, and her pacha, her twin, they were playing a gig at, I believe it was, what is this, at Museum or KNT? It was the museum one.
Yeah.
And so they played, and I was like, oh, who is this chick? Okay, cool. And you played like a Michael Jackson medley or something. I was just like, nice.
Allah.
And then I saw Lucice play. She played bass.
She was also a student of Manasseh.
A student. I went, okay. I saw some others on drums, and I thought, this is cool because these are not the instruments I see females playing. It's usually keyboard at church. That's what's acceptable. Because also you're not finyaing your kanyonyo here, and you're not opening your legs. These are the things we've grown up hearing.
Save the jewels.
I said, all right, okay, all right. So then a few months passed, I think, and then I don't know if this was before or after you played a gig at a solo song at Michael Joseph.
Women in Music.
At Women in Music. Yes. And you were there with your dad.
Yeah.
And I said, is this the same chick? Okay, all right, okay. So she's, all right. And you were probably like 16, 17 at the time.
Fresh,
it's like,
fresh.
These babies. Yeah, literally, And then I watched, obviously, when we were doing the fundraiser at Michael Joseph. Tindi had also heard of and watched, I think, in church when Kinanji were doing worship. So I had experienced all of you different thing. I'm like, but why don't they play together? Do they even know each other? I'm like, no, I'm just going to walk up and say, give me your number, give me your number, give me your number. And then I started to engage and have conversations about, would you be open to? It wasn't easy. I think that even just getting the unit together was not easy, because part of it was like, I think you all asked yourself if we really can. There was like a little hesitation. There was a moment, and then just like, oh, we have to, it was work, because we had to then figure out, we are not just playing the songs the way they are, we have to make them cool and funky and sexy, and working on arrangements and stuff. But I never doubted that it was possible. I think for me, I was like, no, this would be so dope. And then we are all so hot. My gosh, can you imagine hot music and hot dames?
Someone even made a meme out of the group picture that we took that day.
Yeah.
We were looking so hot.
Yes. So I was like, imagine all this is like a beautiful flower bed. And that was literally what was in my head. I was like, it's like you've gone for like a flower festival, and these. So for me, that was the mission, the calling, the thing that I really wanted to see and be a part of.
And that mission and calling grew to become such an inspo. I mean, Vibe No Queen is partly because of that, partly because of the inspiration that you gave us all. And seeing like a whole generation.
It's a whole generation.
You're our matriarch, and then Nimi, and then
our baby here.
Next time there'll be.
Bring them, bring the babies.
Of, meeting her at a place where she was actually learning from this maestro.
Manasseh. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really epic that Sasa now people are actually learning how to teach each other this.
Yes.
Ivy has her students there. Where you're mentoring us so much.
Yeah.
May I have my Motra babies?
Yes.
How to drum. I think it's actually really, really important. Again, I was having a convo with Edie, and she was like, culture is dynamic. Hizi vitu lazima tufundishane.
Yes.
And I remember she actually said that when she looks, because she's been in a leadership position in Pris.
Yes.
And she said, because I was actually asking her from a bird's eye view perspective, when she looks at the numbers, behind the scenes now, away from the stage, where is she seeing the women?
Yes.
Is she seeing an increment in the number of women in the arts?
Yeah.
And she said that she's actually seeing and seeing that it's more acceptable to be in the gospel music industry space as opposed to the traditional space.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is so one? Is it Kwanzaa, first of all, do you actually agree with this? And do you feel like it is only in the traditional space, ama even in like comedy space where you are? In leadership spaces where you are?
Yeah.
And why do you think this is so?
It's definitely changing, and it has changed.
Yes.
She's right from the point of view of there's more acceptance in maybe a gospel space. And it's really, for me, I keep reminding people that, gospel is a message. It's not a genre.
It's not a genre.
Okay? It is so like...
Preach again.
There's reggae as a genre, but it's gospel music. There's hip-hop, but it's gospel music. It's about the message.
It's about the message.
And so there's easier acceptance. And I keep telling people, don't be confused. It's not you, it's the message. Do you understand the difference? So when I see gospel artists entering this other side, the talent is okay, but the reason we come to church is because you're helping to minister to us about the message. It's not you. So if you get out of there and say, today natengeneza gig yangu, you might be surprised.
Right.
You will not get the same reception, because if you drop the message, we've only known you as the vehicle through which we can get to a place of worship.
Right on.
You understand the difference? So I really think it's a slight caution because you have to be doing things for the right reason, okay? And it doesn't mean that because there's 1,000 people in your church on Sunday, uko na 1,000 fans. Okay?
Yeah.
The maths is not math, okay? So I think because it's maybe an easier in to get into the space of being able to play, you're invited to come and minister, worship and all of that. So you probably are a better musician because you can do this regularly.
Yeah.
More so than maybe this other traditional secular side.
Yeah.
If there's no gig, really we are not in the habit of just practicing for the sake of practicing.
Right on.
Unless you decide this is the path I'm following.
Yeah.
So back to the work.
Yeah.
So the same thing applies when you see the ecosystem, and I think that's one. There was a poster once, I don't know if you guys saw it, where you say when you're hiring a musician to perform, you're hiring like 40 other people.
Yeah.
What the ecosystem is, which is the word you used at the beginning.
Yeah.
What does the ecosystem look like? for you to put this on, it's not just the three of us here talking. It's like 10 other people who are all making sure this
happens.
This one song that's being performed by this artist is possible because. Now, what I'm seeing is that there's more females in the ecosystem. Behind the sound desk.
Yes.
Right? As the director of behind the camera. On the instruments, not just the female we always used to see at the front, in front of the microphone singing. For me, that's growth,
and that is the change. Yes,
that's the change.
Yes,
and that's what I'm saying. I don't necessarily need to see more females in front of a microphone. That's not what I'm aiming to see because that's what was acceptable. The girls sing, that's their job. I'm loving seeing that the person holding the camera is a chick. I'm loving seeing that the person on the sound desk running front of house is a female, For me, that is growth because it means that we are spreading our wings and we are taking these sort of disciplines that were very heavily reserved for males, and now it's okay to have a balance in that space as well.
Right on.
I think the other thing in terms of like what Edie was sharing with you, in terms of also visibility. Being able to take these leadership roles, to serve on some of these boards, to run an organization. When I was running CAMP, the Kenya Association of Music Producers, I was a female CEO. Angela Ndamuki at the time was then the CEO of CRISC, and then there was Maurice Okoth who was at MCSK. So we were 2-1, right? But we were at the helm of these 3 music collection societies, and being able to see that there were more females on the board, understanding the back end of making policy decisions that then affect the entire industry, not the music space, the industry. Because industry means work is generated, employment is generated, money is generated, not shughulikia tu kama matron and hopefully there'll be happiness. No, can we have an industry that is recognized by government, that is facilitated because we pay tax, that is laws are written for, that is regulated by an act of parliament or some sort of guidelines, because it has entered conversations at cabinet level. That's what that growth for me should be. And whether it is, again, the different genres that are there, traditional music or gospel ministry or secular music, for me, it doesn't matter. As long as if you are in it, you can earn a living, you do things the right way, you continue to be authentically you, but create your own career path. That's, for me, what growth looks like. Yeah.
Nimechoka. Tumeze mate. Nimechoka.
You remember this one?
I think I do.
Aki, love. Love is like, I think it's the one thing that's been written about and sung about the most. Utaanza kulia hapa.
Usikiwa kwa hivyo anasema,
mapenzi.
L'amour.
Eva. I shouldn't love you, 'cause you belong to her. You can't be my baby, 'cause you're already hers. From the day we met, you said you were seeing someone, but who knew it would get to this? I shouldn't love you, you're not mine. My mind understands, but my heart is taking time. I gotta figure out what to do to help me get over you. But ooh, what to do? I don't have the right to ask you to love me. I don't have the right to ask you to stay. I don't have the right to tell you to leave her. But if you feel like I do, you should love me too. If you ever loved a boy, where you at?
Hey.
Had your heart skip a beat, where you at? Had tastes in your mind, where you at?
Where you at?
I'm that kind of girl. Fellas, if you ever loved a girl, where you at?
Where you at?
Had your heart skip a beat, where you at? Take her places in your mind, where you at? Be that kind of guy. I don't have the right, yeah. And loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. And everything that you do is all about loving you. Loving you. I see the sun come shining through every time that I'm so in love with you. Sing la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, do 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 do. La 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 la, ooh, sing, do 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 do. L'amour est bon. Na molingo nanga.
That is so epic, guys. June Gachui, Alexander Ivy Pale. I don't know how we're doing that, but I'm sure it is approaching that time. June Gachui.
Kasiva Mutua.
Oh my gosh, what?
Kasingoma. Have you seen this face? Where are we going?
Going after
Where
this.
must we go?
Tunatafuta mahali pa
tutafute.
kwenda. Makeup by Mokera has done that thing, guys. Shout out to Makeup by Mokera for making us look so panty.
Enhancing our beauties.
Chops. Enhancing the talents also. When you look confident, you feel confident.
That's right.
That's
right. That's right.
Thank you so much, you guys, for coming to Vibe No Queen. I'm so appreciative. Asante sana for all the wisdom.
You're welcome.
And for inspiring us so much, Bwana. Yani, we won't stop calling you Nyame.
Mami.
Nyame Mami.
Yes.
Nyame Mami for the Nyame Army.
Yes.
Hey. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Guys, Vibe No Queen continues this season ni ile ya Matriarchs, where we're just soaking in all the wisdom. Najua watu wanasema nimekuwa mpole sana kwa sababu nimekuwa pale kwa kona. Even me, I'm receiving, but I'm learning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Music in Africa Live for making this possible. You guys, if you don't know what Music in Africa Live is, it's a powerful, powerful initiative set up by the Music in Africa Foundation. That was an initiative set up during COVID to help the music ecosystem iweze kupinga hizo chenga za COVID-19 pandemic for the musical fraternity, artists, industry, etc. Thank you so much. And this is in partnership with the German Federal Foreign Office and Siemens Stiftung. And our other sponsors are Gecko Cafe this season, who are feeding us very well while we are doing all this shebang. And Elmara Apiari, who have always been with us by supplying us the most organic honey in this Canairo. Thank you so much, Elmara Apiari. And shout out again to Makeup by Mokera for making us look so pink. And High Synergy Events for powering the season. I'm super, super excited. Vibe No Queen inaendelea. We're going to give you more and more. Please soak in this wisdom. And if you want to reach out to June, she's all over Instagram.
I am.
Facebook.
I am.
WhatsApp.
Just find me. June Gachui. That's it. At June Gachui. Actually, it's everywhere. Yeah. At our website, Tico, these days. So I'm just like, but yeah, no, thank you so much, Mama. It is there. Look for me. Find me. Trust me.
Engage.
And pay me.
Engage.
If you don't do those 4 things, you're right.
And if you need to know anything about, IP, intellectual property, June Gachui is here. I'm sure I want to do a session for just IP, Bwana. We need to be schooled, eh?
You guys need to be schooled.
Aki, quali.
Yeah. long gone are the days that, sheria haiko, laws aren't there. There's nothing like that. Who told you to enter this industry? Nani alikwambia uingie hapa?
Thank God we have people like you now. We are out to school. Ivy Alexander, you are setting such a good example, such a rich example for people who are looking forward to holding instruments. Now it's no longer there are few instrumentalists that tunakuona, and you're actually making way for the younger ones. You're teaching super epic. Alexander Ivy, ladies and gentlemen. Get to know her, tafuta
yes.
Mtandao, social media, WhatsApp, akikupatia number, and get to know who she is. She's an epic personality. If you haven't watched her Vibe Na Queen episode, she came on season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
And she's actually been here on all the episodes, 1, 2, supporting Tindy, and now supporting our man.
Yay!
Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. And keep it. Vibe Na Queen season 3, The Matriarchs. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, ciao.